India is the epicenter of human trafficking. It is estimated that there are 100 million people in India who have been enslaved.
That's the equivalent of a third of the entire population of the United States. 1.2 million of those are children. India tops the list of countries when it comes to transit, destination, and source of human trafficking victims. According to the United Nations, the most dangerous place in the world to be a girl or woman is India. Imagine that you're one of these girls, or that it's one of your own daughters. Here's how it works.
You are a 12-year-old girl living in a rural village or town in India. Life's already tough. But one day you find yourself being sold by your parents, your brother, or your uncle to men you've never seen before. You are then quickly handed over and shoved into a car, and you begin a journey that may last days to one of the larger cities in India.
Or perhaps you were offered a job in the city, or a chance for a better education, or maybe you meet a young man who makes you fall in love with him and tells you to come away with him to the city where he has a job and a house, only to find out that when you get to the city, he dumps you off with some other men who take you and throw you in a room and lock you in.
Imagine the terror you would feel not knowing what is about to happen to you. The sense of betrayal by people you trusted, people from whom you have derived your own identity, family members. You sit there in this small, stinking room waiting for what will happen next. Your eyes are wide, your mind is racing, your heart is pounding, and your breathing is rapid and shallow. And then the door opens. 3 large men step into the room and close the door behind them. You have nowhere to hide, and no one is coming to help you. One of the men shouts at you and tells you that this is your new home. Your parents didn't want you. No one wants you, because you are a worthless piece of trash. You work for us now, and we're going to teach you what to do. 2 of the men move forward and hold you down, while the third rips off your clothes and begins to rape you, a 12-year-old girl. Each man takes a turn. The horror you're experiencing is beyond description. At first you struggle and try to fight back, but it's no good. They begin to beat you. There's nothing you can do but submit. The physical pain is excruciating, and it seems to go on forever. Before it's over, you completely shut down and pass out. This is what the traffickers call seasoning. Eventually, you regain consciousness and find yourself alone, torn, bloody. The physical and emotional pain are overwhelming. Your shock turns to anger at how you were tricked, sold, betrayed, brutalized. But you don't have long to think about this because you hear the footsteps in the hall. You watch the door opens, and it begins all over again. This goes on for days until you are completely broken. You've been starved, beaten, injected with drugs. Your anger has now turned to nothingness. You have completely shut down emotionally. You're numb. You're compliant. You're ready for customers, 10 to 20 customers per day, every day, for the rest of your short life. And you do whatever they want. You have no hope, no dignity, no chance of rescue or restoration.
Can you imagine it? I'm not sure we can. We can only get a hint of what it must be like. But it's not enough to sit by and do nothing while this continues to happen. We can't save every girl. We just can't. There are too many, over 200,000 a year in India alone. But we can save some, and with your help, we will. Here is our vision. First, rescue. We will collaborate with an undercover rescue team. They are experienced and currently involved in rescues, and we have established a relationship with them. They send in one of their men to identify girls who are underage or being held against their will. They collect covert video evidence and then coordinate a raid with the local police authorities.
The rescued girls are then processed by the authorities. During this time, they stay in a government holding facility. These facilities are overcrowded, dangerous, and filthy. The police authorities work in conjunction with child welfare services to relocate the girls to an approved aftercare facility, or they attempt to repatriate them to their village or country of origin. If neither of these can be done, they just release them, and the girls become easy prey and usually end up back in the brothel again. Due to cultural norms, once they are defiled, they are not welcome in public, and since they typically have little to no education or vocational skills, and have been brainwashed to see themselves as worthless, they often actually choose to return to brothel work. They see it as their lot in life now.
Relocation. The fortunate ones are relocated to an aftercare facility like New Horizons. Child welfare services will turn them over to us, and New Horizons becomes their legal guardian until they reach age of majority.
Restoration. Once a girl is released to us, restoration can begin. They will be brought to the New Horizon house where they are welcomed and informed that they will be safe and cared for. They go through basic intake process and receive a medical screening and vaccinations. A psychological evaluation is performed and a program of treatment outlined. While in the house, the girls share rooms together and they are provided and taught good nutrition and personal hygiene. They are monitored and supported by house mothers who live in the home with them. They receive a basic education from certified teachers. They will receive professional counseling, both group and individual. They will be provided opportunities for recreation, spiritual growth, and vocational training. They will also be taught basic life skills, like how to handle money, cooking, buying things in the market.
When the girls reach the age of majority, 18, then they're offered the opportunity to move from the aftercare facility into a transitional home. The transitional home has less supervision than the aftercare facility. Girls are now allowed to make trips into the community on their own so that they can begin putting into practice the life skills that they've been learning and to gradually begin reintegration into society. They agree to live by the house rules and are still monitored and supported by a house mother, but they experience more freedom in the transitional home as they learn to take responsibility for their daily living. For example, doing their own cooking, cleaning, and purchasing things in the market from an allowance that they will receive. We will also assist the girls in locating employment or continuing on to higher education.
Reintegration. The final step is reintegration. This can happen in a variety of ways. A girl may move directly from the transitional home into the community if she is able to arrange housing and employment, or she may move into a New Horizons group home. The group home has minimal supervision and is intended to provide them with the independent living as a family. Remember, these girls may not be accepted very well in general society, so those who have no family actually become a family for one another.
So once again, the process looks like this: rescue, relocation, restoration, and reintegration. The fact is, however, that none of this can take place without your help. We urgently need partners in hope who will pray for us and for the girls and who will contribute financially in order to help these girls escape these brothels and experience hope and restoration.